This question comes to us from Tony Arena in Australia. And you know, this is a big thing out there right now about the golf swing and this concept of shallowing the shaft. Okay, so what exactly does that mean? Let's talk about what it means first. So what that means is the club goes back on an arc. So if I just took the club shaft here, so the club goes back like this and it goes up, and then when it comes down on a shallower arc than it went back on. So you don't want it to go back this way and then come down like this. That would be steep. And you don't want it to go here, which would be, in my opinion, way too shallow. But your club, the club goes up and then it comes down relative to the ground. It comes down on a shallower angle of approach. So it goes up and it comes down on a shallower angle of approach. And I would totally agree with that. But when you're talking about forces and momentum, there's a couple of ways to shallow the club, to make this club shaft go from being here. So when it starts down, it goes from being here to being like this, doing this. One way is you're at the top of your swing, you can make it shallow by doing this, where the club head falls faster than your hands. The other is you can be here and your arms and your hands can both shallow at the same, so they do this. I much prefer that one. I spent part of my career doing this one. The problem with that one, when I start down, if I let the club head fall faster than the handle, and it goes like this, and my arms are going that way, this club head then is going this way, and it's pushing my hands out away from me. Now, when that happens, and this happens, yeah, if I spin hard enough, I can then get the club face back into the ball. Can that give you club head speed? Yes, it can. But it's very difficult to control the amount and to time the face. Okay, so you can buy into two ways to shaft, because I want the shaft to shallow like everybody else. It's interesting, I played baseball. The bat's up here. You don't hit the baseball from here. The bat has to shallow onto the right arc to hit the ball. You hit a tennis ball. Okay, here's the ball. The racket's here. It doesn't go like this to the ball, so what does the racket do? It shallows to get on the right arc into the ball. Okay, so they all do the same thing. For me, when I shallow the shaft, when I get to the top of my swing, when I change directions, my arms come down, so the shaft shallows, but I'm keeping the club from falling faster than this, because as soon as that happens, I tend to do this. And then what happens to my swing? I end up losing the ball way to the right. Now, I practiced this for about 4 years, and I worked my butt off. And I can take the shaft, and I can do this with it, and then I can twist. Oh, that one went pretty straight. I can still do it. Puts a lot of pressure on my back, takes a tremendous amount of timing to get it right on line. And the biggest thing for me was when I got pretty good at controlling my distances was impossible with my irons. It's really difficult. So that's one way. The other way is I go up. When I change directions, my arms shallow and the club shallow, but the club head is not falling faster than this. Even Sergio, who gets up to the top, see what happens is his club head and his hands are falling at about the same speed, or the handle is actually falling faster than the club head because they got to get the club back out in front of them. So these guys who get the club laid off, Dustin Johnson, a number of guys, when they start down, the club head doesn't fall faster than their hands. They get up here and they start down and the club's going, but their handle's coming down faster than the club head, and that's what snaps the club back out in front of them. All right, I like to not feel that much of that. So my arm's shallow, I go back, my arm's shallow, and the club comes down shallower, but not because I drop the club head faster than my hands. I haven't had a lot of success with this. Now, you want to try it? Go ahead and try it. It's like I say with anything. I did that for 4 or 5 years trying to play on tour. Drop, go. Get up to the top, boom, boom. Some guys call it the magic move. Not quite sure what it's magic for, what it magically produces. But whatever, go ahead and try it. And then do what I'm talking about. Yeah, the shaft shallows, watch it. My club goes up. When it comes down, it's coming down this way. But the club head isn't falling faster than the handle. That's the key. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for regular updates and tips. Thanks for watching.